Good evening to everyone in the class this evening. Good evening, Agnes and Yukena, Jail. Good evening to everyone that's in the class. We're just waiting for the others to join us. So just bear with us while the others join. And I'll be right here, just not on the screen, but I'll be right here waiting for the class to get started. So just bear with us a little bit as we let class get ready. And again, good evening to everybody.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Definitely can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Okay, good evening, Jail. You got a mic, Jail, this evening? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, Prati. Good evening, everybody. Agnes.
Yeah, good evening too. Good evening, everyone.
All right. We're just waiting for Dr. Comfort this evening. Dr. Comfort, she's going to be taking the class, so we're just waiting for Dr. Comfort this evening.
Okay. Hi, it's First Lady and Josh.
Yeah, everybody's doing okay. It's a really sunny day this evening, so the others they have just gone out for the evening, so everybody's doing well.
Pretty. Pretty.
Hi, Agnes. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are the kids?
Oh, they are doing well. And yours?
They're fine.
Thank God.
I can hear their voices.
As usual.
Yeah, how is Ghana?
Jael. Yeah.
Hello, Agnes.
Hi, Zed.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
No complaints, thank you. And Miss Priti, how are you doing?
They are doing well.
Good,
Sorry.
thank you, man. I'm glad. How's my family?
The family is fine. And how is yours?
Okay, thank you. It's making me tired here.
Yeah.
You know the mothers.
Mm. Pretty, have you heard from Ruth? It's been a while.
Oh, okay. I think they are about rounding up with their exams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see Auntie Rosie. I want to see Auntie Rosie.
Okay,
Say her.
Bishop Comfort.
Is she in?
Auntie Rose
Is
has
she in?
pretty hair. Mama, Auntie Rose has pretty hair. Auntie Rose. Auntie Pretty.
Hi, how are you?
So you are fine.
I am fine.
Okay, what's your
Hello.
name?
Huh?
What's your name?
My name is Maria Mikaela Naina.
Wow, that's a beautiful name.
She looks like your mother. She looks like you, Agnes.
She
We're all
does,
going to do today's class together.
Like you would.
All right. A pleasant good evening to everyone. Welcome to this events class. I see you guys are having a family moment, greeting babies and hugging and kissing and shaking at each other. Good. It's good to see Pretty and Bishop Comfort, because I can't see Jial and Agnes. I think they have abandoned me, left me in the dark, but that's okay. Ah, there you are. Aha, finally.
We will show our faces very soon.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you guys are welcome to this evening's class. And this evening is going to be done by Her Excellency Bishop Dr. Comfort Adu out of Ghana. She's going to be doing the class this evening. So welcome to you, Bishop Dr. Comfort, and I will set up and I will assist you with your PowerPoint presentation. So you're very welcome, Dr. Comfort. Unmute yourself, unmute yourself.
Good evening, Your Excellency, and good evening, class. I hope you are all doing fine. I take this opportunity to greet our First Lady, Her Excellency Guinea Steele, and also all the excellencies in the houses. Today is my first time of giving a presentation to you youth, and I believe at the end of the day, you'll be able to understand what I've put across. The topic that I'm going to treat just occurred to me one morning, that what are we doing about our character? In natural fact, I pondered over it for a while. Yes, that is what comes into my mind. Maybe I think it's a time that we'll all get to know who we are and who we are expected to be. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele, for giving me this opportunity. Now, I think we can start the talk now. The topic is character. When we talk about character, what does it come into your mind? I went through so many definitions. Because time was not on my side, to be frank, I was just looking through so many definitions by other people. And I picked some up that I want us to look through. So when we say what is the best definition for character, we can say that it can be defined as a mark, a sign, or a symbol, as a letter or a figure used in writing or printing. Number two, as the group of qualities that makes
Let me interrupt you, please. Forgive me for interrupting, but I have to because you have yourself speaking twice. Could you turn off the volume off of the other one? Just turn off the volume so that you're not speaking twice. I know you're on twice just in case you get logged out, but turn off the volume or the speaker off of the other one. So that we only hear you once. You want to speak and just do a test, please?
Hello.
Still hearing 2 times. Do you have something
So,
else that is on? We're hearing it twice. Just put one on mute and turn off the audio. Try again. Not that one. You put the wrong one on mute. Not hearing you as yet.
please, is it okay?
Yes, it's okay now. Yes.
Okay. So when we are talking about the definition of a character, we can go as long as and as far as we want. It could be described as qualities that make a person or a group or a thing different or a stand out from others, something that makes one stand out from others. For example, we can talk of a town which has a special character. Like example, when I went to Israel, I saw this town called Nazareth. It was on a hill, and it's so significant that you cannot ignore it. You cannot miss it. All the towns that I saw that it was a distinct town with its peculiar things that you can find in the town. It was quite different from the other towns. So I can easily say that the characteristics of Nazareth is that it stands up on a hill. And just as the Bible says, cannot be ignored. And also a distinguishing feature, like when we talk of characteristics in plants, you can say that the characteristics of a mango flower has its own time of coming during the year. It appears around April, whilst the other plants like fruits like guava and pear or apple or whatever it is, they also have a different time of appearing. So when you want to describe a plant with its characteristics, these are some of the things that feature out. Please, the next slide. Character is defined as a trait, quality, or high moral code. When we talk about a trait, it means it's something that you can look out in a person. The quality or the high moral code that you can find in the person. Or you say that in our language, you say that to which is so, as for this person, this is how he is or she is. It is in the blood. You understand? Or you look at somebody, you say this person's character is so much to be desired because the person is so distinct in the things he or she does or things, and then the person becomes astounding. For example, you will say that someone is known for being funny. Another person, you could describe the other person as being compassionate. he had a tender heart. Is a person who you can confide in, who will comfort you and who will give you your heart desire. We can also say that of a person, another person who is so trustworthy. You can confide in that person. You can give a work to the person and the person will deliver. You can count on that person. As a matter of fact, that is what we will say or talk of that person. What is meant by character of a person? The character of a person or a place consists of all the qualities they have that make them distinct from other people or places, as I have talked earlier. For example, one may say perhaps there is a negative or positive side to his character that you haven't seen yet. That happens when somebody puts up a show or somebody does something, and then one will stand up and comment that you don't know Kwame, you don't know Kweku. You may be somebody of a different character you have not yet seen. He may be pretending. So you say character is something that one exhibits either by being born or with it, or other than being copied by somebody. The natural fact, character of a person is what the person actually is. You can look at that person, you can study at that person, and then know exactly that this is what the person is supposed to be, or it is what the person is. So let's talk about the character of a man. When we say, what does a man of character mean? We are talking about somebody being consumed in his self-interest. People of character place their focus on others around them. They tend to depend upon either their family or their friends or others to whom they can make a positive difference. Such character for me is related to other virtues like kindness and generosity. You ask yourself that, can you get somebody whom you can get your heart's desire in a particular thing? When it comes to kindness, is there somebody who can show you kindness? If it comes to generosity, is there somebody who can show you generosity? Who can be generous to you? Do you put your trust in such a person? Can you commit your whole life with such a person? So that is why we look at it that the character of person is very, very important. It can come within and it can be developed along the years. Some people are born with it. Some people develop the character as they go along. And as often as one lives, the character can be changed or can be molded. A good character helps you develop in winning a personality. In other words, if somebody has a good character as a backbone, it is like a magnetic personality which will attract other people to him or her. In this area, one needs to be honest with his work. Sorry, I think please, can you hear me now? Hello?
Your Excellency, we are hearing you fine. That's Uloma that is having noise in her background. We're all hearing you fine.
Somebody was giving notes that they can't hear.
No, that's not to do with you. It's because they have noise in their background. We're all hearing you fine. If I can't hear you, I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm hearing you fine.
Okay. There are 6 pillars of character that I want us to look at. One is trustworthiness. That is where you can commit I will say you can commit your entire life into somebody and then sleep and wake up the next day knowing very well that such a person that you have entrusted your life in will take good care of you. Whatever happens to you, he or she is in control. A trustworthiness is somebody whom you can maybe entrust your entire estate or your fortune and travel away and come back and find it the same thing. The person will not mess up. A trustworthy person. We can also talk of another pillar being respect. If you want to build up a character in life, these are some of the pillars that you have to find in your life. You look at respect. Can somebody respect you? When we talk of respect, it's not like good evening, sir. Oh, good day, madam. Or that is just we call fanfare respect. But respect is out of the heart, whether the person is there or not. You talk to the person or you refer to the person as if the person is still around you. You look at the person with dignity. That is where I look at it as respect. You respect somebody, you give the person the dignity that the person requires. We will look also at responsibility. We ask ourselves, the other pillar of character is responsibility. Does that person lives up to the standard? If you give a work to the person, will that person be able to deliver? If you ask that person to go to a certain place, will that person go, or will also ask somebody else to go and do it? It is different from you are dedicating the job to somebody. But when somebody entrusts something in your hand, that comfort, go and do this. A responsible person will make sure that the thing is carried out. Another trait that we also look at, or a pillar that we look at in characteristics, is also fairness. Is that person biased? Is that person fair? Whenever you assign that person to a duty, maybe he's taking charge or he or she is taking charge of a lot of people, will that person bend the law or keep on with the law? We'll also talk about caring. It's very, very important in characteristics of a person. That is that person caring, or the person think of him or herself. In this place, you say the person is selfish. He doesn't care for anybody. Such a person, if you assign your life or something to that person's care, the person may mess up with it. The other one we'll talk about is citizenship. Citizenship. In Ghana, there is in our national anthem that will stand up for the nation. A person with the sixth pillar of character of citizenship takes good care of his or her country, holds the country in high esteem. He or she will not travel to another place and say, oh, as for Ghana, oh, Ghana, I'm glad I'm not there. Such a person is not a person with a character of citizenship. He will easily disown where he or she comes from. Here in our country, we say that such a person is a person who, when she is enjoying or he is enjoying, then he remembers you. But then when everything is said and done, he forgets about you. Please, the next slide. We will continue with about some of the characteristics of traits. Some character traits reveal positive aspects of a person's underlying values or beliefs. Another side of characteristics is these ones that we are going to talk about. Generosity. Is the person generous, or the person always have it, the inward being, always myself, or the person gives out? There is a saying that when you give out, you receive. As we are growing, as we are moving forward, these are the traits that we have to see in our lives. We are not, if we are not seeing it, then we have to make some sort of correction. Then integrity. Integrity was what we started with in the class of integrity. You hold yourself in high esteem, that somebody can look up to you and say that as for such a person, if I take him to this and this and such a place, he will not misuse that opportunity. Loyalty. I mean, most times we find people who are not loyal. His loyalty is something that one has to be very careful about. Disloyalty. That is what has brought some countries and some organizations and some places down. As soon as you show somebody something better than where the person is, or something better than what the person is enjoying, then the person turns his side around. The person now takes you for nothing. He or she will rather be good or be better off than with what you have already given with. This loyalty is something that is very hurtful. We have to be loyal to our nation, loyal to our families, loyal to our spouses, loyal to our friends. Loyalty is very, very paramount. And if the person is loyal, you find the person devoted to the person. Devotion is very, very important. The person has to be very devoted, loving, and also being kind and sincere, and above all, self-control. These are the traits that needs to be found in a person who is to be assigned a responsibility, who is to be assigned a position of high esteem. Generosity, integrity, loyalty, devoted, loving, kindness, and sincerity. Above all, self-control. When the person gets to that position, will the person be able to control himself or what? I remember when I got to the position of the national vice president, I had almost everything at my disposal. When I need car, I could go for this the cars that are they are auctioning. I can do anything that I want to do, but I thought to myself, this is an opportunity that must not be messed up. I have to control my passion. I want to control my needs, and to look at the work that has been assigned to me, to work for the workers, not to have myself enriched. This next slide. This is more of characteristic traits. We talked about some of them, and some of them we have not talked about. We just go through and look at it how it is. One has to be resilient, disciplined, ambitious, creative, compassionate, patient, courageous, flexible, honest, humble, honorable. That is integrity. We talk about loyal, we talk about it, and conscientious and persistence. These characters are very, very slim, but it shows, or it lives itself out and one has to be very careful to get them into your life. You know, when we are talking about character, it is like building a bridge, and you want it to be so strong, and you want it to be so you want it to last long. If you put certain things in place, the bridge will last long. That is what I'm trying to paint the picture. That these are the traits when you put it in your life. When your life is like that, you will live long. You will be able to go to places. You will be able to stand wherever you have been asked to do, or to stand or do something. Please, the next slide. We have more of the character traits. We have more of them. We have ambitious. We have kind-heartedness. We have honesty. We have generous. Some of them are being repeated, but I didn't get those I wanted, so I just brought all together. And then we have intelligent, we have determined, we have talented, we have powerful and elegant, we have reliable and strong, we have brave. When we go to the other slide, we will be able to know exactly what we are talking about. You just look at them, and then you see that this is what one will be like if you put it into your life. We have adjectives to describe character. I want everybody to look at it and see whether you understand it. I want us to pause while we look at it, and then I ask one or two questions. I think it has become a little bit blurred, but we will understand it when we take it one by one. We look at one who is hardworking. We look at one who is lazy. We look at one who is creative. We look at one who is faithful. We look at one who is kind. You know, the picture tried to depict the picture of somebody with such a character. You look at one who is loyal. You look at one who is cheerful. You look at one who is friendly. You look at one who is reliable. You look at one, please, it should go up a little bit. It has so many adjectives that you can use to describe the character of a person. When, for example, let me take one or two of the picture to explain. For example, when we say that Kwame or Akosia is hardworking, you know, you are describing the person, the character of the person is a hardworking person. You can see it in the way the person works. You can see it in the way the person goes to work, the time the person closes from work, the time the person takes to accomplish the work that has been assigned to the person. On the other hand, when you look at the other person next to you, say the person there, Kwame is lazy. Why is he lazy? He's lazy because of the way you look at him. He doesn't come to work early. He leaves very early. And when he comes to work, he sleeps. He doesn't concentrate. He doesn't do the work that is assigned to him or her. We can look at somebody else who's also considered this person is creative. If you give the person assignments and the person is not even able to do it very well, we'll try to make it in a way that at least the work will go on. Find different ways and means of achieving that aim. Talk about the person is very creative. The person normally does not wait for the leaders to come around and then show them what to do. As soon as they are being assigned the work, they go on and then do it. I think we will go to the next slide. Now we look at this. As for this picture, it is very, very clear. We have one who is anxious, one who is naughty, and then the stubborn one, the impatient, the sensitive, the intelligent, and the nice one, the nervous, the emotional, the bad-tempered, the mean, the distracted, the dishonest, the rude, the discreet, the crazy, the untidy, the cheeky, the cheerful, the energetic, the optimistic, the pessimistic, the unpleasant, the talkative, the calm, the passionate, the proud. If you look at these descriptive pictures about a character, where do you think you stand? I don't want you to answer to me, but to yourself. What are the 5 words to describe yourself? Positive words to describe yourself. You will write it for yourself. At the end of the talk, we may ask you to say something. Am I able to handle multiple tasks on a daily basis? When it comes to creative, I use a creative approach to problem solve. Is that how you do it? Dependable. Am I a dependable person who is great at a time management? Energetic. Am I always energetic and eager to learn new skills? It goes on and on with experience. How are you with other things that you come across with? What the type sort of experience that you have? Are you flexible? Are you hard on working? Are you honest? These are the questions I would like you to answer on for yourself. This is the next slide. We have another picture here that I want us to look at it. The picture of all these that we see here have labels that we will have to add to each. When we say that, number 1, poor, when you look at the pictures, whom can you think the person is poor? As for number 2, rich, you can see the person with the money as being rich. And when we look at somebody who is happy, you can just see the other one there who is happy. And then the sad. This one can be said that the person is sad. When we talk about lazy, I will say that the one who is lying in that coach is lazy. He doesn't want to do anything. As for old, we can all see an old man holding his walking stick. And the young, we can also see a young person down there. And when we talk about a fat person, you definitely can see a fat person up there. All this is just to show us that whatever you are, we can give a description of you by the way you look, by the way you act, by the way you comport yourself, by the way you put up yourself. That is how I try to put this picture here for you to understand that when we talk of character, these are also some of the characteristics that we can look at in man. Please, the next slide. When we come to the social well-being, we have 5 social well-being characteristics that are very, very important and we must look at. For the past ones that we looked at, they are just general ones. But this one, when we come to social well-being, we are going to interact with people when we grow old. or when we get to some certain positions, apart from your family, the extended people that you'll be meeting are the other people in the world. We always talk about being globally relevant. If you want to be globally relevant, these are some of the things that one has to look at. When we talk about openness, for example, creative and imaginative and intelligent and curious and adventurous are all part of that topic. Can one be creative when one is assigned a job? Well, for being creative, you also have to be a person who can imagine things. Like you want to set up a business, and your boss have brought you your table, your computer, your everything, and I've told that, oh, we want to manufacture this product that we use to clean the washroom, we used to clean the floor, we also clean everywhere. What do we do? You have to think about everything, imagine about it there, even at the end result of the good end result, like how you are going to package it, how you are going to sell it. You have to be in a form of telling your boss that, yes, this is what I have done. Then you underline everything without him even telling you from how it is being manufactured, how you are going to get the raw materials, how you are going to get it being produced, how you are going to sell it out, the nice packaging that you put in. And then even at all, even you cannot also introduce that, no, you cannot sell them here alone. You have to sell them outside. You have to experience again. This sister or this brother is very intelligent. You have to be curious in the things that you do. What is behind it? Is there something new that I have to do? I have to be very curious. And also it comes with being adventurous. Take a long rope, do so many things about it, turn the business round. If you do that, your boss will see that, yes, this is somebody I have to keep. But if you stay at one point, they tell you that put this container on the table, then you put it on there, then you sit down. You wait for the boss to come and tell that put it on another step, then you put it on another step. And another boss will come and tell that, no, pick it up and then put it in the trash, for example. You must have a wide sense of it. And then also you have to be an extroversion personality. You have to be outgoing, very friendly, lively, and active and talkative. When we say talkative, doesn't mean they talk. But you try to strike up acquaintance with somebody, you go ahead, you interact with the person, you go ahead, you find out what the person needs and everything. For example, somebody walks into your office, greets you, and the person sits down. No, you have to engage the person in a conversation and then find out the problem the person has come up with and then give out a solution so that when the person leaves out from the room, you say that, yes, I've rather come to a place that I need. This is a place where I'll always come to, because I found out that it was very, very interesting and also very, very well, very, very a good place that we'll have to be. Then when we talk about conscientiousness, we ask ourselves that is when we get, I'm using workplaces, for example, for all this, and because we are aiming at social well-being. When you are at a workplace, You have to get yourself organized. For example, today that I'm going to do this work, I have to put so many things out of the way. And even so, look at how I started. Everything was so much on hand. When one is organized, you can move with such a speed that you sit back and say, am I this person doing this? Get yourself organized. An area that needs to be organized is our home. For example, when you are given a job, you don't always have to take the burden of your household into the job. What do I mean? It means you put your house in order. Whatever needs to be done in the house, you do it. So that when you come to the office, your mind and your composer and everything is on what you are doing. You'll be going to places and meeting people. If you are not organized, you will not be able to meet up to the expectation. You try to put your things in the right place. That is where it is very, very important for all of us. One, two is that we have to be very responsible. I think this word responsible we have come across it about 2 or 3 times. It is very important because if you are assigned a duty, you have to see the duty through. And also this word of hard working, you have to be very hard working. So when we talk of conscientiousness, these are the things that we are looking at. You have to be agreeable. A person whom you just walked into the office, the person gets up, yes, what can I do for you? Then the person that you have met rather starts giving out, let me use this word, provoking questions, not in the negative way, but in the positive way, trying to probe, to get to know exactly your business or what you need. And the person offering help is very, very important. You have to be warm, not cold, that you cannot get in touch with. Say, this person you cannot talk to. If you go to the office, you have to be very careful, because the moment you say certain words, the person will sit up and snap you with a word or one or two. You have to be very caring. This world, what we need is caring people. So many people have problems and challenges, so that when they walk to your office, you have to be in a position to care for them, be soft-hearted. You don't have to be so hard that they say, hey, there's a Mr. So and so, Madam so and so, you can't get near her. She's too hard. Let us be men. We are human beings. There's nowhere that anybody is without fault. So when you are at a position and then somebody is at fault, you just approach the person. Tell the person the truth, yet tell it in a way that the person will be able to accommodate it and then move on with it. And so doing, you are being sympathetic with the person's plight. If the person is hurt, if the person is going through some motions, you have to show sympathy. Then neuroticism. One is moody and worrying and nervous. You cannot use that in an office. You have to be somebody who is able to get things together, have to be compatible. For social well-being, if these traits are not found in your life, you will not be able to move or work in that place most efficiently. Please, the next slide. I found this in my search and I put it on. So 5 ways to show acts of selflessness. You know, we always talk about somebody who is selfless, and it's an art or it's a character that cuts across so many areas of the adjectives that we have used for the past discussions. When one is selfless, you can find so many traits also in that person. But now we ask that how to show or how to act a way of being selflessness. One, make the extra pass. For example, when they are sharing commodities, like in our country, when there's a scarcity of commodity and they are sharing, and they get to you, so oh, give it to Kwame. Another one comes, oh, give it to Akwesi. Another one comes, oh, give it to, yeah. Then you pass them on till everybody gets, and then maybe some is left. You take. If there's nothing left, just move away. It's very hard. But such a person, we call the person is selfless. Then communicate. Whenever you get an information, you try to communicate to the others. You don't keep it to yourself. Some people will there was a time when these essential commodities uh, were the order of the day. You hear that, oh, they are sharing milk and sugar and rice in maybe Kent Town or Ashtown or other place. You keep it to yourself. You don't tell the others. Because as soon as everybody gets to know of it, they all come and queue. And maybe you might not get one. But when somebody is selfless, the person will communicate the information to everybody. So when the person gets there and the queue is so long and the person does not get anything, he does not mind. That we call that person is selfless. Another way you can show or you can act as a selflessness person is you highlight your team mates. You lift them up. You show them the way, and then you help them to reach that path. Even if they need about 3 people and you are 4 or 5, let them take the lead. Hello. Hello. Then we have the common traits. I'm just bringing them out just for you to look at it, and then make your mind before I conclude on whatever I wanted to say. We have the description of one being impatient. We have a description of one being work, one being aggressive, one being stressed, and one being self-centered, and one being comported. Please, the next slide. With all that I have said, or whatever I've shown, I've tried to show some pictures of types of characters, negative ones and positive ones. But I would like to center my talk on this area where we have reached. When we talk of a character, here we have a proverb that we say that it's like pregnancy. When you are pregnant, no matter what happens, the child has to come out, whether it is stillborn, whether it is aborted, whether it is due born or whatever it is. For a pregnancy, it will surely come out. So it's a character. Whatever character that you have or you are, it will surely show. And you could be born with it or live with it. Your environment can make you or make you. These character traits can be picked up by the people you are living with or the people you move along with. And these characters of those people can either make you or make you. You can be you can have a positive characteristics in your life because of the people you move with, or you can have a bad characteristics like in your life with the people you move with. So be careful of those whom you move with, and be careful of where you stay. There are some sandy areas where you stay, you pick up their character. Sometimes when you have a very bad parent, the children are tend to be like that. But then we say that, are you prepared to go through with the process when you want to change from a bad character to a good character? If you want to get some characteristics that will help you to achieve your aim and to be globally relevant, you ask yourself, will you be able to go through the process? Beauty can take you to a destination, but character may establish you or eject you or return bring you back to your first point of call. What I'm trying to say is that somebody may be beautiful, handsome, nice, good looking, and may be married to somebody, but the character that the person will exhibit will determine whether the person will be established in that about their parents. You get to appointment somewhere like the United Nations or another place. They look at you, oh, so and so is so good. Let us place him or her there. Oh, the person is so qualified with good qualifications, so many titles. Let us put the person there. But one day, the person's character will determine whether the person will be established in that establishment or will be sent back home. There are ways to overcome bad character. One way to, or the first point for you to do, is to accept yourself. Know that these things are my shortcomings. This sort of character, I don't like it. That is, you confess to yourself, I don't like it. You agree with your position that the position that I'm in is true. I'm not exhibiting good character. People say so much evil about what I am or what I do. I'm ready to change. Then you switch it off inward. Inside you, deep in yourself, you confide in yourself that this thing that is with me, I don't like it. Then you ask yourself, so how do I come with it, or how do I get over it? You have to accept counseling and correction. And you have to be determined. It is not today you are on it and tomorrow you drop off. No, be determined, whether good or bad, whether the person who is counseling you is giving you hot words or pulling you through the situation in a hard way. Be determined that you stick on to the end. Determination is the key word. Then I have this food for thought for all of us, even myself. You say in an examination, what you are required to provide is answers, not to find how to answer. No, when you're in an exam soon, it's not that it's not the time for you to think of how you do calculations, how you get your solution and or whatever it is. No, you are supposed to produce answers in an examination. You are not supposed to go and sit down and then think of how you are going to get the answer right. In this world, when you get to your appointment, you must perform. My advice is that get a good mentor to groom you. Class of Steele, no size. That is why we have Class of Steele, which is grooming all of us. And if you stick to it, every day you come for class, at the end of the day, you'll be polished. It is like the rough metal that they have dug from the ground. You put in chemicals and you scrap it. You put on more chemicals and you put it in the fire. You fire it, you fire it, you fire it. You bring it out, put more chemicals on it and polish it. This gold and then silver that we see beautifully at the workshops. And people cry over it. They want to get this, they want to get that. If we know how they went through before they were polished and became very beautiful, that is how human beings, our lives are. We need people, we need mentors to groom us. Know wherever you are, know wherever you are, know whichever age you are, know whichever place you are, know whichever country that you are. At a point in time, you need mentor to groom you from one level to another, another level to another. That is how one should be, to get a very good character that everybody will be envied at. This is the next slide. This is my take: loyal, devoted, and kind. If you look at this picture, you see how the child is clinging to the toy. You never let it down. You never leave it, no matter what happened. That is his friend. That is his paddy. That is his everything. And will be very kind. Even his food will give it to the dog or whatever to eat. That is my take in this study. One has to be the best character, and the back with is be loyal, be kind, be kind. What is your take? We have so many blocks here. What is your take? All the series that we have gone through, their blocks are here. What is your take? The next slide, please. I'm done. Thank you, class of Steele. Thank you, Your Excellency. From Ghana. Yeah, Your Excellency, please, can you give us something?
I have watched, and I want to congratulate you on your presentation this evening. Come on, those of you who have on your screen know how we celebrate each other. So this is the way that we do it. Congratulations on your presentation. I was a little bit challenged with the, obviously technology gave you a few challenges, but you held up well, Dr. Comfort. And this evening, I'm going to ask Ruth. First thing, it's very good to see you, Ruth. Welcome to the class of Steele this evening. And it's nice to see you. We missed you last Saturday. You were definitely missed. Good evening, Ruth.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, Dr. Bishop Comfort, and good evening, all the excellencies here, and then my colleagues. I'm also glad to be here again. It's been quite busy for some of us over here. That's why we were not able to join the previous classes, but we were able to listen to it, and it was also awesome. I learned a lot from the recording. Yes, tonight's class has been very, as I type in the nuggety. There are a lot of lessons to be learned in it regarding our characters, how to develop your character. In fact, in this class, if you are here and then your character does not change from where you are to a good one, I don't know what exactly you're doing to yourself, because each Saturday we beef up so many things that concerns our lives, especially character-wise. So thank you so much, Dr. Bishop Comfort. These are very thoughtful lessons for us, because this will go a long way with us as we move along. We relate with people, personal, interpersonal relationship with people, how to relate with them in terms of speech, character, as you said, character is like pregnancy. It is inside. No matter what, it will come out. You cannot hide it. Yes, you cannot hide it. You just have to build it and build it in a positive way. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Well, I actually quietly listened because this evening is not my evening. It's not my evening to even be having a conversation. So this is what I'm actually going to do. I'm actually going to ask you, Ruth, to moderate this evening. You sit in the class of Steele for so many evenings. You've seen how after the presentations, there's a moderation. Give us your take, you call the person name, and you moderate. So this evening, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'll show you what I normally do. Flip. I flip my screen just like that. And I'm gonna ask Ruth to do the moderating. You ask the questions and you get the feedback. You know everybody's name. You can see who's there. And the moderating is in your hands. So ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate our moderator for this evening because I'm preparing you guys to abandon you. And if I prepare you to abandon you, it means that I have to know that Bishop Comfort is able to do the presentations. And I also have to know that somebody's able to do the moderating. And I pick on you this evening, Ruth. So Ruth, this evening, you're the moderator, and I'm going to say, please do not call on me. Do not ask me any questions. Don't ask me if you're doing it right or wrong. Just moderate the session. Ask everybody, give their opinion. And then when it's time to close, and I think it's time to close, I will look at you and we will close. Bishop Comfort, if somebody wants to speak with you, they will speak with you, but do not communicate with me. I am just in observer mode as your mentor. Mwah. Over to you, Ruth.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. This is an opportunity you've given me. Thank you so much, and I'm honored for that. Yes, thank you for this. Yes, as Mama has ended our lectures today, I would like to throw the question to all of us. What have we learned from the lessons she has? I see them to be nuggets. What exactly what's your take home? I would like to call on Preeti, to share her take. Yes, Preeti, let's hear you.
Good evening, Dr. Bishop. This is in fact, I don't know how to explain this class. It's a very nice topic. And all the while you've been teaching, and I've just been examining my own character. Like, where do I stand in all this? You know, looking at the character traits and all the types of traits. I mean, where do we stand? So for me, I've taken note of my own personal character and where I need to step up. You know, when we started this class, I used to be very shy. But with time, as time goes on, I started stepping up. I think I've been able to do some presentations and even doing more. So the class of Steele is really a place to be, a place to build your confidence, a place to be courageous. You know, it's also molds your integrity. As you live, as you work, even where you work at home, you find out that you're becoming more and more honest. People are seeing your character as a very special person. You're not being linked with so many bad things or fraud. People always exempt you when they are talking about things evil. People want to come to you for advice, and they just believe and trust whatever you say. So these are the things that make up a person's character. It's not really being rich or beautiful or whatever. You need to have a character. You need to be someone that people can, even at your back, people will say good things about you. I know nobody is good in the back, but at least if you have a good character, people always talk good about you. People can approach you wherever you are, or your office, anywhere, people can come to you and give them listening ears. You can give them advice, and you can also want to be like you. Even when your bosses want to make recommendations, they can always recommend you. So these are my take on this evening class. And my greetings to everyone in the class today. Thank you, my moderator, Ruth. I see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pretty. That was interesting one there. Yeah, for character, as Bishop said, you may be beautiful, you may be very intelligent, but your character will really expose you if you are wherever you find yourself. So on that note, I will pick up on Jacob Bayelinku to tell us where he sees himself in this lesson. Where exactly does he fall? Dr. Bishop has talked about so many things. He should tell us where he sees himself. Jacob, the floor is yours, please.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Moderator. Thank you so much for all the excellency, and then Bishop Dr. Comfort for the wonderful presentation. I think I've learned a lot. Character is something that she mentioned, that a pregnancy that it will definitely display. And I think because of class of Steele, we have learned a lot from it, and day in, day out, I think new things are beginning to display in our lives. And I think there are things that I used to maybe, let me say, quick-tempered and all that, but I realized that it doesn't really solve the problem. And people, because of your character, people will respect you. Because of your character, people will value you. So it is something that I've really learned tonight, and I think I am impressed, and I'm blessed to be part of this class. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Thank you very much, Jacob, for that share. I will like to call on Andrew Bugdo. Andrew, yeah, share with us your take on this lesson about character.
Yeah. Thank you, Bishop. I just joined the meeting, so I didn't get the full lecture very well. I just joined.
Okay, that's okay. But I would like to ask, does anyone have a question for our bishop? Probably there is one question that is bothering your mind that you want to ask. Yeah, if you have a question before I continue. Does anyone have a question about this?
Yes, please.
Okay, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
I wanted to find out how can one change his character?
How can one change his character?
My question.
How can one change
his
character? Bishop, over to you. Please, Bishop, we cannot hear you. I don't know if your mic is muted.
Ruth, can I answer the question?
All right, go ahead, please.
Hello. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay,
Pretty,
somebody
said
that. No, let the person answer. Then if there's something left out, I can chip in.
All right, thank you so much. Pretty, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you once again, my moderator. So if we want to change his character, one, to accept that that character is bad, that's the first one. When you accept that a character is bad, you've already confessed it to yourself, and then you start, trying to, whenever you do that thing, that particular character, whenever you displace it, you have that feeling, I've done something that I said I don't want to be doing. And you see yourself, you become conscious of that particular character, and little by little, it will start dropping. And again, you have to find yourself or place yourself in the midst of people with good character. If you mingle with people that has good character, you're likely to be influenced. And again, I think your environment is the cause of your attitude or your character. You can also change your environment. For those who are almost always feeling depressed and maybe they are always feeling sad, environment might be the cause. So you can change that environment, and you see little by little your character will begin to change.
Thank you so much, Prissy. I believe you have nailed it. You just have to acknowledge who you are, embrace yourself, and then know whether what you are giving out, the energy you are giving out to people is good or bad. If it is really bad, then there is no harm for you to change either your environment, yourself, or the way you do things. Sometimes you can change it. Yeah. Before Dr. Comfort comes in, I have seen 2 hands up. I would like to call on Jael to give her submission. If she has a question, you can go ahead with it. Then I'll get to Agnes.
Thank you so much, Ruth. I have a question for Dr. Bishop Comfort. Why is it that people always step into your character, and how do we as a human beings change that part for them, for other people not to capitalize on your good characters because you have these characters? Now people is just hammering on it, and you, because who you are, and now you just keep on doing it. How do you go about that one, to not being harsh or rude, but how to just give me an idea how to change that part without being damaging your character as to who you are? Thank you, Your Excellency.
All right, Bishop.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Madam Moderator, with the previous one, when one wants to change one's character, you have to accept yourself. Agree with yourself that the state that you find yourself is really who you are. You have to be sincere to yourself by confessing to yourself that, oh, Comfort, I'm so naughty, or I'm greedy, or I am this, or I am that. You agree with yourself that this is what people are saying and it is true. Then you have to switch, as I brought this on the switch off inside or inward in yourself. Admit it in yourself. Admit it in yourself. Make up your mind that this character is nowhere for me. It's no-go area. I'll leave it. I'll not go near. Then, as I said earlier on, your environment can either make you or make you. You understand? So look at the company you move with. Are they the sort of persons that you are because you moved with them and you have picked up from them? Then you drop them and then you change your company. And now your companions, you change it. And the area that you are, in Ghana, we have a place like Nima and other places that I don't want to make mention because we are on there. Such place, if you give birth to somebody, hey, please, oh, I beg, oh. But do you know that we have some presidents who have stayed in such places before, but their character did not match up with those people. Do you understand? So the tendency for you not to pick up that character depends upon your parents also, or your carers, those who are taking care of you. You can live in an environment that is very worse, but because of where you are being groomed from your home, and it will not tell on you. Straight from the classroom to your home, from your home to church, or to the mosque or any other place. We are being guided by people, so you don't come in confrontation with people with bad characters. You understand? And also, sometimes when you are, when I talked about you are being born with it, meaning it may be in the blood. Let's say such a person's grandfather was very, very, very hard, was very, very this, very, very that. And so if for that one, if you notice that one, that is a big contention. If you notice that this really comes from the bloodline, then you must make sure you get a good counselor, somebody who can mentor you very well. And I believe at the end of the day, you come out from it, because it's a form of correction, something you have been born with it. It's not easily, you are not easily able to live without. It becomes your inborn character. It's not something you picked, but something you grew up with, because that is what is in your family. But it can be corrected if you get a good counselor or a mentor who will do that correction for you. And the key word is that be determined. No matter what happens along the way, people will be giving you names and the rest. Just be determined that this thing will surely come to pass. Is that answered? Please, is that answered?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I think I'm impressed.
Okay. What about Jair? Hello.
Jair?
Thank you,
Jair, is your
Dr.
question? Did I address your question?
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Because like you say, it could be like in the generation, because I know my family is like that, and people just sponge on us because we are who we are. And maybe I should learn to say just in a nicer way no, and work on that one. And stop carrying that generational habits. Maybe that is what I need to work on.
Yeah.
But
You know one thing. When somebody is going to give his or her daughter out for marriage, like our country, they say, let's go and look at the family where she's going to or he's going to. Why do they say that? They want to find out the sort of people they are. So when they go into the family, they say, hey, this family that we are going to marry into, no go area. Why? Because these people their grandfather was an armed robber, a grandmother did this and that and that and that and that. So it has tainted the family. And so there's the tendency that along the line, the child will also behave like that. So when you find out, you come out and then you find out your family is this, and that, and they are not having good character. The best thing is for you to be determined to get out of it and then find a good counselor who can correct you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Comfort.
Bishop.
Thank you. I'll ask Agnes if she still wants to ask a question before I go to Uloma. Agnes, do you still want to ask your question?
Yes, but
Okay.
Good evening, mommy.
Good evening.
I wanted to ask you, how long does it take for one to be able to change a character?
Well, thank you so much. For one to take a character to change depends upon the person. Okay. How far you go depends upon yourself. That's why I was saying that the first thing the person or the the caution here or the advice here is that the person has to be determined. You know, it's like sickness. Sometimes somebody may be having some type of sickness. It can take a year, it can take 6 months, it can take 3 months, depend upon how you take your medicine and how the type of medicine you also take. You understand? And with the help of God, you know, with the help of God, because some type of character is not easily overcome. Which is deep in the person's life. The person might have been like that for so many years. And now you said the person must change. If the person is not determined, it will take a long time. That is why I said that accept counseling. I said the person have to accept counseling and be under a mentor. And then listen to the direction of the mentor. Whatever the mentor tells you, whatever the mentor wants you to do, even if you go through that, by the help of God, it will be successful within some few years. But and also it depends upon the type of character. And upon the type of character. I encountered somebody, you know, as ministers of God, we always have these church members coming to our place. I once saw one person, the type of character that the person was so much. And in the corrective move, I did not want to make it in a highway so that the person would be discouraged. So I took the person step by step. As soon as the person gets into the house, something will be missing. As soon as the person gets into the house, something will go wrong. You understand? Such a person, if you talk to the person, so the person cannot stop. If you say you will beat the person cannot stop. All that you need is you pray for the person, then you take the person in one by one, step by step. One thing I did was that I just left money somewhere and I was just monitoring the person. And then the person picked it. Just as the person picked it, I was in the place. So the person could not deny. Then I took the person through counseling and other things. There was a time that I had a phone, I put it in my sofa. The person sat near it. And then immediately the phone changed place. And I said, hey, so this phone too can work. You understand? It took a hell of time. It really took a hell of time. And I had to do it in such a way that I will not embarrass the family. But at the end of the day, the family will know that this and this changes have taken place. So many things have to take into consideration. And so many things come to play. If you are not careful, you lose the person. If you are not careful, the person may be you know, I don't want to say this, but sometimes it's true. Sometimes the person is being worked up spiritually. I don't want to bring this into it, but that is the truth. You understand? Somebody may be a drunkard, and because the person was being worked at a negative signals, I believe you get what I'm trying to say. When we're such a person, it is not easy to just let things go. The person have to be determined to stop, and then you also have to determine to help the person along the long way. Such counseling and then mentorship will be of a great help.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Comfort. Aside the counseling and everything, the key word I picked is determination, your willingness to stop the negative character. If you're not willing, no matter the number of counseling you go through, you still have that seed of negative character in you, and you will definitely exhibit it. So let's go to Uloma. We have some few minutes left. We'll soon close. Yeah, Uloma, please come up with your question or your submission.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Only that your network is not clear. Your network is breaking. Oh, your network is breaking. I think you typed something in the chat room. Let me read that on your behalf. Uloma, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, then go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, I want to thank Her Excellency Dr. Class, a wonderful lecture. It's a complete package. And unfortunately, I am not at my location. I traveled to another state for a seminar, and it's lots of music in my background, so I have to be for a quiet place. You know, like I said, I wanted to address the question someone asked, how one can change his or her character. You know, sometimes change is because you want something for the better, right? You want to change from what is not good to something that is better. And I think you need to, first of all, forgive yourself of whatever it is or whatever lifestyle that you used to have. Then, because if it is coming from the negative perspective or the negative side, there's going to be stigma. People will always want to refer you as that person that you used to be. So you need to forgive yourself, accept that I am no longer that person that I used to be. So if another person,
Hello, Uloma.
of
Yeah. Hello, Uloma. I'm so sorry. We were getting you clearly, but getting to the end, we cannot make out what you are saying. So kindly continue, make use of the chat room. And let me quickly get to our two participants here. Ujivanga, we've not heard from you. I would like to hear from you. What is your take on today's lectures?
Okay, good evening, everyone. First of all, I have to say sorry because my video is not on. I'm a bit under the weather today, as you can hear from my voice. So I'm just lying in bed right now, and I came a bit late. But I could pick up people are talking about characters. Like Dr. Bishop Comfort was presenting about the character. So the little bit that I had, I think I had something like you might be beautiful and all that, but when you get a job, your character is going to see you through. Whether you get established in that whatever establishment, it's up to your character. And if your character is bad, of course, you might join the establishment and find that maybe there are some people that are going to test you, because in that company or whatever, there might be people that are maybe corrupt, and your character, it will depend on you whether you join those people or not. So like I have to say again about jobs, there are some positions like being a leader also. To me, that needs character, and your character has to be good, because as a leader, let me say a leader country, you can come in and remember, a country has got currencies and all that. The economy has to be stable. So as a president, when you don't have good character, you might even come in and say the wrong things, and the currency goes down, and everybody suffers because everybody is looking at you. And as ordinary citizens, we are looking at a president who's got good character, who can make good judgment and doesn't mess up the relationships of the country with other countries, who can just come in and improve everything. So that's all I have to say. I'm a bit uncomfortable because I've got flu, really. Yeah, thanks.
So sorry for that, Ujivanga, and we wish you speedy recovery from that. And thank you so much for your submission. Character is an essential human trait that we all need to develop regardless of our social status. I would like to speak with the last person, then I will close tonight's meeting. Who is here? We have Samuel Atinga Adungo. Please, let's hear from you. Samuel, are you there? Samuel Atinga, please, are you here with us? Okay, okay.
Yes, please, I'm with you people.
Okay,
Hello.
then let's hear you. Hello, yeah, let's hear you
Yeah.
too.
Okay, I know I just joined the meeting just right now, and I'm just listening at your talks. Later on, I also come in.
Oh, we are almost done. We are on the verge of closing. So,
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
whatever you heard, or whatever you are going to take home, share with us.
Okay. No.
But you can't really.
Okay, Samuel.
Showed you.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Actually, today's class is very interesting. I've learned a lot.
I love the sound of that.
Talking about how you go out. I hope you are listening to me.
Yes, we are listening. Go ahead. Just make it snappy because of the background.
The background here is not favoring me, but
all right, no problem. Next week, we wish to see you again and you give your submission. Okay? No problem with that. I hope
thank
you. Yeah, let me relieve you of that. Okay, family, all too soon, we have brought today's class to an end. I would like to say a very big thank you to His Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele, for this opportunity to moderate this diplomatic platform. I'm so honored and I thank him so much. And all of us here, especially my colleagues, character building is one thing that we all need to build no matter who you are, whether you are an adult or a youngster, you need to build up your character because that is what is going to go with you in a long way. There's a saying in my language that se obakwa waria or the meaning to say that if you are a lady and you enter into marriage, you go with your mother. That doesn't mean you are going together with your mother, but the character she imbibes in you is what you are going with. So whatever character you have, if you check the kind of aura you give to people around you, if it is unpleasant, be willing to turn on a new leaf and then that is what will take you far. That is what will take you far. Thank you so much, everyone, Your Excellencies, Dr. Bishop Comfort, for this wonderful class and the topic you brought on board. And thank you so much. We have benefited a lot today. And I would like to say that see you same time next week over here on the same platform. From my end, it is 1:45 a.m. I believe at your end, it is 5:45 p.m. Thank you so much. Until then, it's bye-bye for now. Over to you, Dr. Michael Steele.
Give her a clap. Come on, you have to celebrate. Well done, well done, well done. All right, pleasant good evening again. I have been here, sat listening to every comment, seeing every hurdle, every difficulty, and observing. First thing I want to say, thank you so very much for Bishop Dr. Comfort Adu for your presentation and your submission this evening. Thank you very much for that. It has been well presented. Apart from a little hiccups and some stuff that I'm going to discuss with you. Now, I don't want to speak pertaining to the content of this evening or on the subject that is at hand. I want to critique and give you some information pertaining to my expectation from you as a mentor and basically why I'm mentoring you and pushing you in this particular direction to be sharing and also to be moderating. There is a reason behind everything that I do. And as a result of that, I'm actually going to critique more so and give my insight into what I observed. Don't take lightly the fact that I was behind here, you were not seeing me. I just didn't want to intimidate anyone because they can see my face. And, sometimes when you're seeing the mentor or whatever, it can be a bit intimidating. And I didn't want that. And when you had a challenge, I wanted you to figure out how to deal with it. On the first point, I want to say, Ruth, you did very well. I'm really pleased with how you handled your moderating. You did very well in doing that. You focus on individuals. When you had a problem, you didn't focus on the problem. You went straight into saying, okay, we can't hear you. We're not receiving you. Could we kindly get somebody else? That's important, that you don't belabor the point when you're having a professional conference or professional seminar. Don't belabor the point of somebody that is having technological challenges. Don't belabor it. Get to the point, says, okay, I'm not hearing you. Mute their microphone immediately. Just mute them so that if they come back on, you don't hear them speaking and you go on to the next person, which is what you did. And well done. The other thing that I want to mention is Bishop Comfort, when you're answering a person that asks a question, don't ask a question after you answer the question. Just answer the question and don't refer back to the person. Leave it in the hands of the moderator. One of the reasons is because everybody inside of a group setting like this, when you're having questions and answers, it is good to answer a person and leave it at that. If they get it, don't go into, did you get it? Did you understand? And try to have more conversation. Because sometimes in conferences, if you do that, what happens is sometimes the person talks a whole lot more and a whole lot longer, and it distracts from the general context of the event or the conference that you're hosting. And equally, you have just taken over the role of the moderator. And the role of the moderator is, once you answer a question, you leave it to the moderator. And the moderator goes on to the next person. So that's important. And equally, with regards to, there's something that I observed that I will share with you. When you're sharing your presentation or answer a question, don't share such long stories. Don't share such long experiences that you've had so long that it goes into a long explanation of what you experienced and what you've been through, what you're doing. Try to stay focused on the question that is being asked, answer the question, hand over to the moderator. And as you do that more and more, you discover that you manage the conversation, and you also manage the time professionally and very well. But on the whole, another thing to do is, when you're doing a speech, Dr. Comfort, do not notice persons that are sending one message, I can't hear you. Don't notice a message that say, I can't hear you. a lot of times in my earlier times in doing PowerPoint presentations and also live Zoom meetings, what I discover is a person that is not hearing me when I'm speaking, there's two issues. Either it is on their side or it is on everybody's side if they can't hear me. And if everybody else is hearing me okay, and your host does not interrupt you, don't interrupt yourself by speaking to that person. Ignore that person. And what I mean by ignore that person is, unless you see people doing this, then you know that persons are not hearing you. But when you look at the chat and you see something pop up on your screen, don't notice it. That's really important, because sometimes that steals the point that you're going to bring at that immediate time, and you lose focus. But also, if you're being recorded, a lot of times it can be irrelevant, because everybody else, like I just popped in and said, we're hearing you. Yes, we can hear you. We're hearing you clearly. It's just that one person who didn't hear you. Is everybody with me? And I want you all to take notes on these very important points. There is no good, bad, right, wrong. They're just observations to help with your professionalism. That's all they are. And there are objections in any case to every rule that exists. But I just want you to have some points that you focus on. Also, a lot of you, when you're speaking, and I want to say this, if your camera is not on, I prefer you to say, please excuse me for not having my camera on, if that is necessary to say it anyway. I'm not able to put on my camera because of where I'm at. End of discussion. Please do not go into details about your personal circumstances. Ujavanje Kazari, all of us did not need to be aware that you're laying in your bed and you're not feeling well and you're this and that. Sometimes when you're having a professional conference, because you're there, nobody can see where you're at, what you're doing, and it's okay. It is fine. Once, if you're in your bed, we don't need to know you're in your bed. Just answer the question, respond to the moderator's question, and go on from there. But don't go into details of your personal, what's around you, what's going on. Don't go into public details about that. Agnes, I want to say this equally to you as well, Agnes, when you spoke pertaining to where you are and what you're going on, please don't do that. For security reasons, and I'll explain what I'm saying. I'm a very security conscious person. And because we are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, there are persons who are watching that we are not aware of. And you don't want to be given details of where you are and what's your current status, etc., etc. I think those are things that you should be conscious of and do not disclose those things. And if you're ever in a class and you're in an environment where you cannot speak, even if your camera is on, please put a message inside of the chat. I cannot speak, don't call on me. Do y'all get that? If you're in an environment where you cannot speak and you don't want, if it's a noisy environment or whatever, just put in the chat, I'm in a noisy environment, I cannot speak today or whatever. But the moderator, and for you as a moderator, Ruth, you need to also be watching carefully. And don't worry, Ruth, I jumped off on you the deep end, and I know you weren't prepared for this. That's all right. But this is something now as a moderator that's very important. Rule number 1, observe when people come into the class. Observe it. Sit down and observe when people show up so that you have a sense of how much content was this person able to receive from the class that merits me asking them a question about how the class was for them. You need to monitor it. You need to be very mindful of the class, of who's there, and all of these details. Go through the chat again, the chat from the beginning, who is in a place where they're going to say, I cannot speak, and I don't want to be interrupted, or I'm on the road right now, or I'm in a meeting, I'm in a conference. You get what I'm saying? So go through the chat as the moderator and make sure you are aware of your audience. Make sure you are aware of everyone. I normally make it a rule that, in all honesty, I only call people first whose cameras are on. Now, the reason why I do that is because I see the attention people's cameras that are on are paying to the class of Steele. I could see it. A lot of times, persons would have off their cameras and they would not be in class. Are you with me? They're not listening. They're doing something else on the computer. And when you call on them, they mess up your broadcast. And you go, oh, why did I call you? Why did I call that person? You know, because you're having a nice broadcast, you're getting the participation of everyone that is present, and all of a sudden you go and call one single person that their camera isn't on, you can't see what they're doing, and you didn't realize they're not listening, they're not focused, they're just logged in for no value, no significant value. And then when they come on, they mess up your broadcast. Are you with me? That's also important as a moderator. It is better to leave out a person than to call somebody and they mess up your broadcast. Please understand that as a moderator, because you're responsible for giving the audience an awesome experience. It is your duty to get feedback. It is your duty to, when somebody says something that pricks you, to say, yes, thank you so very much for that, Pretty. That was a really nice explanation. As a matter of fact, I equally remember, just like Jayu said, and you tie everybody in. As a moderator, your job is to tie everybody into the discussion. That's your role, okay? The other thing as a moderator that is really, 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 really more than anything else, as a moderator, you need to control and have fun controlling. As a moderator, your role is to control the presentations, the responses. Your role is to do that. You don't give individuals. Does anybody have anything that they want to say? Put up your hand. Because then you're going to have a lapse sometimes where persons are not going to say anything, and then it makes it look as though nobody's interested, nobody cares, or nobody's concerned. And then when you pick on persons, it's a little bit difficult because you're not sure if the person really wanted to talk. Are you with me? So always remember to ask the person who wants to speak. The other thing is, don't allow somebody else to answer a question that was posed to a moderator, to a speaker. And Pretty, I saw that you wanted to answer, and in future reference, if you're in a professional conference and somebody asks a question to the speaker, do not interrupt to answer the question. Don't ask to answer the question, because the question was posed to the speaker and you want to honor the speaker in answering, because persons want to hear from the speaker. Your opinion is good and your thoughts is good. Try to structure your own personal opinion and your own personal thoughts into a question or a comment that you will do yourself. But don't answer a question that was asked to the speaker. Let the speaker have the privilege of answering the questions and giving his or her own explanation. All right. And then the other thing is, a lot of you, I appreciate the dynamics, but in the next couple of classes, I want a number of you to get back in focus where we're losing some focus. I want a number of you to start putting back on your cameras. And let me explain why. The reason is because we can see if you are a part of the class. We can see and we can hear you, and we know that you're with us. The reason why I do this, I have why I do that is because I sometimes stay in the background. But anytime that you see that screen there on mine, it means that my camera is on, okay? Anytime you see that screen that is there, my camera is on. If you see this, that means my camera is actually off, okay? So anytime you come into class and you see that going, it means that my camera is on and I just have myself blocked for a period. I'll teach you guys all of those things on Zoom when the time comes. So focus as a moderator. Ruth, I'm going to pull on you as a moderator. Are you willing to take up the challenge and go down that route? Are you willing?
Yes, please. I am.
How do you feel about moderating? How was it for you? How was moderating for you? Tell me what made you comfortable, uncomfortable. How was it for you?
I don't know, I was just comfortable moderating. Honestly, I was just enjoying it, the privilege, and then yeah, I was just enjoying it. Even though at a point in time I didn't know how to begin, but I fell into it and I was just enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Dr. Comfort, do you have any observations from your presentation or anything that you would like to comment, Your Excellency, Dr. Comfort?
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think I saw, I observed certain things. For example, the pictures, some of the pictures were blurred, and I'm not able to read very well. And one thing was that most of the work was done this morning, afternoon, because of the pressure of work. So I wasn't able to check it on the screen to see whether it will appear readable. And then one thing was also is that some of the links changed. I knew that some sessions should have come before another session. Maybe no one noticed, but I noticed it on the last time, and I saw that I also needed to organize myself very well, because the time that I was to come on the platform, I was ready though, but I have checked my data and everything, only to open my laptop for me to be told that my memory is full. I must do that. So I have to delete certain things at the time that I said, oh, why didn't I check this in the morning? So that is other things that among other things that I noticed. And I also realized that, yes, as you said, I shouldn't listen to any comment. I must flow on with whatever I was doing. And I don't know whether I met the time. Time that
okay, so this evening's class, and I want you to appreciate that this is mentoring. Don't take nothing in this personal. This is live and it's mentoring. And it is meant to get you to the next level, but it is also meant to help others who are doing the same thing. First thing, if you're going to do a presentation, here's something that you might not be aware of. When I speak, I don't speak with notes. I don't speak with notes. I don't speak with, those things at all. I speak fluently and I flow properly. Why is that? It is because I spend a lot of time preparing for what I'm going to do. Spend a lot of time. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes preparation. When we present a PowerPoint presentation, I must have been through that PowerPoint presentation about 6 or 8 times before I presented it. Why? I wanted to make sure that the text is spelled correctly. Then I want to make sure that the images are clear. Then I want to make sure that it is in sequence the way I want to present it. So anytime you are going to do a presentation in the class of Steele, rule number 1, if I tell you you're going to do a presentation 3, 4, or 5 days ahead, you should have your presentation submitted to me at least a day and a half before. Why is that? Because we can go through it and we can brand it with the class of Steele, and it can be professionally presented, and you could do a fantastic job. Boom, no problems. So that's very important. And equally for you guys, if you're going to speak for an organization, make sure you have your presentations early. Make sure you put them together, you spell check them, you check the quality of your images and the text that you can read it. Just go through it and check it and make sure that everything is the way you want it to be. Because it's one of those scenarios where you say what you see is what you get. The images that were put in, I think they were low quality images. So that's why they came out like that. Just the way that they were presented. But that's okay. Now, on the other point is, Ujavanga, I saw you wanted to make a comment. Please go ahead, Ujavanga. Ujavanga, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think I raised my arm or my hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
No worries, no worries. All right, so I think it was a fantastic presentation today. Good content, by the way. I'm excited about the content, Dr. Comfort. Very good content, sound content. And I stood behind here reading through your comment and the notes and everything. Very well done. I want to thank you guys for a fantastic day today. First Lady has abandoned me. She says, darling, you could come because Bishop Comfort is going to do class. You could come with us. I said, no, I want to sit down and make sure everything is okay. But I'm telling you, the day is coming when I will not be here. And all of you guys will have to take over. As a matter of fact, on Sunday, Ruth, are you available on Saturday, Ruth? You're available, Ruth, on Saturday?
Yes, please, I am.
Agnes, are you available on Saturday?
Yes. Yes, please, I am.
You will be in an environment where there's no noise and no running all around the place. Are you available? Just tell me. Available means that you are committed to being here because there's a task expected of you. Are you available?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty, are you available next Saturday? Pretty, are you available next Saturday? You're available. I'm not sure if you're shaking and saying, yay, or you're shaking and saying, no.
I'm available.
Okay, you're available next Saturday. All right. So who wants Agnes to speak? Give a love for Agnes to speak. If I see a heart, and who wants Ruth to moderate? So let me see. Agnes to speak. Let me see the hearts. Hearts for Agnes to speak. One heart. Yeah. Agnes, you are not speaking. Hearts for Ruth to speak. Any hearts for Ruth to speak? So Ruth, you are speaking on Saturday. I will be away on Saturday. I will not be here. So Ruth, on Saturday, you're speaking. Agnes, Agnes, you are moderating.
Okay.
And Pretty, you are going to close the class at 8 o'clock on the dot.
Interesting.
Okay? So Pretty, at 8 o'clock on Saturday, you're going to close the class. Ruth, at 5 o'clock, Pretty is going to open the class and introduce the speaker. Okay?
Okay.
At 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Ruth, you're going to speak from 10 past 5 till however long you feel like. That's your business. I'm not even getting into your people's business. And Agnes, after Ruth speaks, you are the moderator. Ask the questions and everything like that, okay? And Pretty, you are watching because you know that class has to finish at 8 o'clock. So Agnes needs to be managed and looked after by you to make sure that even the next speaker who's speaking, if they need to cut it short or they need to come down, you and Agnes need to communicate so that you say, we have to close the class of Steele at 8 p.m. Is that okay? I'm confident in you guys. Bishop Comfort, you're a mommy. You're going to watch and make sure that they do everything because I'm not going to be here.
Dr. Steele, I have a question.
You can ask me anything. It's your job. Go ahead.
Please, what topic am I going to
I don't have a clue. Figure it out.
Oh.
Whatever you feel like. Whatever. Whatever. You are being thrown off the deeper end. You're in China, so you're far from us. You're safe. Listen, guys, listen to me. I want to appreciate all of you in the class of Steele youth. You guys have come a long way. You guys have become friends, family, network, and you guys are doing an amazing job. And I want to encourage you, don't take life so serious. Always be looking forward to learning new things, experiencing new things. Be excited about it. Don't ever take somebody that corrects you or tells you do it this way or that way. Don't be offended about it. Just look back at the video and look back at the comments and see, how can I improve? How can I be better? And believe me, I've had a lot of mentors that made me cry because they said it in a harsh way. And sometimes hearing the truth can hurt. I think you should listen to that class that we just did in the class of Steele, the adult section. It's all about truth or comfort. Sometimes the truth will hurt and make us very uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, it makes us better if we decide to follow the instructions that were given. I see Pretty have up her hand before I do anything. Pretty, you have your hand up before I close the class. Go ahead, Pretty. Raise your hand in my face.
Please, I want to ask, how many hours for the class? 2 or 3?
Pretty, if the class starts at, is my battle. Hey, I'm sorry. 7 o'clock. Pretty, thank you. Thank you, Pretty. 7 o'clock, 5, 6, 7. It's okay. You see, when somebody corrects you, take it. 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 2 hours. Okay, so it's 5 to 7. So, but as I'm saying, we're gonna get there together. And I have a lot of wonderful things. My mom is celebrating her 70th birthday on the 15th of June. And me and my family, we are going up to Manchester to celebrate her birthday with her 70th birthday. And I know that I will not be available to do the class. I don't want to kind of jump in and be interrupted. It'll be so much family and everything. So that's what's happening on Saturday. And on Friday, we'll be traveling up. So I wouldn't be able to do class either for the class of Steele adult on Friday. So on Saturday will be the youth. And then we've got some interesting things that are happening. And I'm going to ask some of you guys to get clued up on speaking and presentations, because we will be doing some live classes with you guys on Zoom, but in a public live event. And I will just be sharing you guys speaking from on the platform. So a lot of good things are happening. But with that being said, I love you guys dearly. Have a fantastic evening. Elizabeth, you've been very quiet. I haven't heard a peep out of you. And I guess Ruth, has she fallen asleep? Is she falling asleep?
No, she's here.
Good evening, Elizabeth.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I'm here.
I know you're resting because you have finally qualified. You have all of your PhD. You're a big pro now, so you don't need to be stressed any longer.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm here just looking a lot from the class today and digesting. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next class on Saturday next week. I'll hear about you, and I will set it up so you guys can do the streaming. Ruth, you and I will have a meeting during the week, so that I can help you if necessary. And Pretty, I'll also speak to you during the week as well. And where is Agnes? She's gone. I'll speak to Agnes as well during the week. All right. And Dr. Comfort, you and I will speak as well during the week. Everybody have a fantastic week. For those of you who are on our YouTube, Facebook, and on our LinkedIn profile, thank you so very much for watching in on this evening's class in the Class of Steele Youth section. It is our corporate social responsibility to look after our youth. They're the next generation of leaders. And if somebody doesn't take the time to invest time, knowledge, wisdom, and support to them, where's the future going to be? In whose hands? With that being said, I want to thank all of you young people for being here, for your skills, your abilities, your willingness to go through these classes and know that at the end of the day, when you come out on the other side, you have good friends, you have good connection, good knowledge, but you'll also have a character that will be a whole lot different as a result of passing through these classes. With that being said, good evening and God bless. Bye-bye for now, guys.
Bye bye. Good evening, all of you. Good evening.
Bye
And good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good morning.
Good morning in China. Is it pitch black outside in China right now?
Sorry?
Is it pitch black? Is it like really dark?
Yes.
Do you guys have, like in the UK in the summertime, that outside gets the dark, the sun goes down late as well for you guys in China?
No.
Yes.
Really?
sun
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
down
yeah, yeah.
late.
Yeah.
Around 8, there is still like
Very, it's like daytime. Yeah.
Okay, because here the time is now 7, after 7, and the sun is still very high in the sky right now.
It's the same here.
And it goes on sometimes till 10 o'clock in the night. Outside is still very, very bright.
When is the midsummer?
I don't want to answer those questions.
Midsummer's night dream.
Midsummer. All I can tell you is there's a time when my wife has to put up a dark curtain and make sure you go to sleep because it feels like it is there all the time.
Okay.
All right, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going and see where Jeannie and Josh are, have some chill. I might do a Facebook. I might do a Facebook live on the road.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Good night. Good morning.